Hey friends, and welcome to the Woodpecker Studio. Hanging out tonight, having a little bit of fun. I've got the R8 with me tonight, the Custom Shop R8. And I've got one of my favorite slide bars. It's this little kind of half bar, so to speak, about half as long as what I would consider a normal slide bar. A little bit longer than half as long as my Coracedon bottle. But this little bar is just nice and clean. Easy for me to control. But what we're really having fun with is the fact that we're playing direct tonight through this 2 notes Torpedo Cab M+. You see that it's balanced out directly to my interface. Very cool little box. Of course, it has IRs in it and cab simulations and and editing functions. And I discovered earlier tonight that it also has a preamp and a power amp setting in it. So where I had been using it in conjunction with an amp, I'm using it as a standalone tonight. A standalone for the amp. I'm also using the direct drive green box to add a little bit of drive gain to what is described as a clean power amp, clean preamp. Simulated, of course, inside the 2 notes pedal. And of course, I've edited some EQ, bumped the mids at 800, and chose the KT88 power amp, and stuff like that. Turn the enhancer on, and I'm kind of having fun with it because I'm teaching a lot more electric guitar these days, and I wanted a simple solution to plug in and play direct without needing to use a rig, and without sounding cheesy, without sounding cheap, Bad tone is never good. And I've had some fun with this Rivera Rock Wreck, but I find that the Torpedo cab has better sounding speaker sims to my ears than the Rock Wreck does. And I had been using it in conjunction with the Rock Wreck. And now I'm using it as a standalone, and I'm having pretty good success with it so far. Now, something about this tone that I dialed up just told me to pick up this slide bar. I don't know if it was, Dwayne talking to me or what, but so I've been having some fun with this. Let's see what kind of sound this thing produces. Now, after playing that, I can tell you that I'm experiencing some touch sensitivity, and it feels really good. I'm not going to say that it feels like my deluxe reverb, for instance, but it feels really natural and it responds really well to touch. And, you can hear, as I strike the string a little harder, we hear a little more drive, maybe. Some harmonics popped out. So, that little experiment with the slide bar has me pretty excited in terms of being able to plug in directly and have a good tone. So it's got that warmth and that roundness that I like. So it really responds well to the pick. And of course, a real test for me is being able to roll these volume controls back and clean this up. Yeah. So it responds to the volume controls. Awesome. It responds, to the intensity or lack of it that I strike the string with. Yeah. And if I kick on that bridge pickup and roll up that volume control, I can get that crunch. So far, using the Les Paul, and of course this is a good one because of the Lindy Fralin pickups and this. We talked about this in one of the other videos, how I've upgraded this guitar a little bit, and the wiring and the pickups are very, very good and very, very responsive. And I am able so far to be able, with my volume controls, the direct drive green box, and some EQ inside the two notes Torpedo, and dial up the sounds that I need to use, because I found that anytime you substitute something in place of the amplifier, it becomes difficult to dial in those edge of breakup tones, which is where I like to live. And this stuff works. This is killing me. This is working so far. You know, you can hear that lower mid in the guitar, the Les Paul. And of course, the 2 notes is telling me that I'm using vintage 30s in my cabinet, and I enjoy vintage 30s. They produce a sound that is pleasing to me. So this is all a lot of fun and really eye-opening, that I can run through the things that I would normally run through with a Les Paul and dial up all these tones, which are kind of touch-sensitive tones. That sweet Dickie Betts type thing that I love so much. You know, all that kind of stuff. And then if I need to, you know, I can go with the big crunchy stuff. If I want to swing a little bit. Yeah. I can get that nice chunky neck, and you know, it doesn't have that tubby low end on it. And I can roll up that volume and get some more gain. So this is really this is really crazy, because I like the tones I'm getting. Is this going to replace my deluxe reverb? I wouldn't think so. Or my 18-watt Marshall. I wouldn't think so. But you know, I'm in the studio most of the day and night nowadays, and this seems to be a great solution to plugging in direct, dialing up good tones. Now, I created this patch for the Les Paul. I've not tried the Tellys or the Strats or anything like that with this stuff yet, but I will, and when I do, I'll make sure I video this stuff and we can demo this together. Thanks for joining us tonight. What an interesting night for me. I'm getting good tone with no guitar amplifier. All right, friends, we'll see you next time. Have fun, play guitar.